I have a vacuum sealer that I bought for freezing dog food, and I didn't even think about using it for my long-term food storage because, I had a heat sealer for my Mylar bags, etc. But people kept saying, what about vacuum sealers? What about vacuum sealers? And what a great idea, because I'm today trying to store milk, so powdered milk for long-term storage. And a little side note, I'm never going to buy these boxes of milk. Look at this. There's 3 bags in each one. Such a waste. Even though these bags are they are Mylar bags. They could be resealed if I washed them all out and that sort of thing. I'm just tossing them. It's a waste for me. I will recycle the boxes. But either way, so I'm filling up a 2.5-gallon Mylar bag full of powdered milk, and I'm going to try to put it in the vacuum sealer and see if it'll seal it up. I'm, of course, using oxygen absorbers because this powdered milk not only needs to have oxygen absorbers, which they don't have in their tiny little Mylar bags. They have to have the oxygen absorbers. They also need to be in Mylar bags so that the sun can't get to it or light can't get to it. It's that way it can last much, much longer, which is, I'm still focusing on long-term storage and not short. So I'm looking for many years as a possibility, just in case we need it in the future, that we can get it now and can't get it then. So I get 1.5 bag filled up. And so what I decided to do is to use the Ziploc on the Mylar bags and kind of close it a little bit. I have to go recycle. I can't handle all this stuff in the way. But I'm snapping the little Ziplocs a little bit, but not all the way across. But if I didn't, it would just pour out into my vacuum sealer. So I'm snapping it across, but giving it some space so that the air can be sucked out of it, potentially. And let's see. I had forgotten how to use it, so I actually start pushing buttons. But absolutely worked wonderfully well. Sucked all the air out of it, especially in this one that had the most in it. I vacuum sealed it. Not vacuum, but I sealed it twice. Just because the Mylar bags are thicker than what I usually use in there. But it's hard as a rock. Like, it was totally vacuumed out. So happy. The one that has a little bit less in it, I stick my O2 absorbers in there. But the one that has a little less in it, I had to kind of mess around with it because it wasn't quite as good as I was expecting after having the one that was hard as a rock. But I did eventually get it to where I felt that all the air had come out of it, and that it was, the environment was ready for the oxygen absorber to actually work to create the nitrogen-rich environment. So I ended up getting these sealed so much better than I would have before. Normally, I just squeeze it out with my hands, snap it up and heat seal it. But this is much, much better. So using a vacuum sealer 100% does work for Mylar bags. And this is what I'm going to be using on my smaller ones. My big 5-pound bags are too big, too wide. But otherwise, this works amazing.